Welcome back to another episode of the Booktroverts podcast. I'm Michaela.
I'm Meg.
And we are so close to the finish line on our Harry Potter series.
So close.
We have made it to book 7, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. But because the movies are split into 2 parts, we are going to follow that same format for these episodes. So there will be 2 episodes for book 7. This is going to cover part 1, which is up to chapter 24 in the book. And then we will have one final episode to talk about part 2. And as we've been doing for the other books, we're going to talk about things that we're happy that they changed when they adapted it to the movie, things we're sad they changed, things we're indifferent on, and then any other little tidbits we want to add in. So I guess we can just jump right into it. Thinking we should start with sad/annoyed that they changed and or left out. So Meg, I will let you go first.
Yeah, so the first one I had was pretty early, and in the movie, Harry is not disguised as someone else, as specifically as one of the Weasley cousins, for Bill and Fleur's wedding, which drives me nuts as a plot hole just because their whole thing was we can't let anyone know that you are here because someone could have been under the Imperius curse from Voldemort and his folks and spill the beans on where you are and then ruin all of the enchantments that they did. So it just drove me nuts that they changed that to still have him himself. And I forgot about that until watching it again and got more annoyed with it. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of stupid for the whole reason why they're doing things in this book.
Yeah, the changes in the movie were interesting. Also, I feel like the way that like Polyjuice worked is like different how it was laid out in book 2. It's just, yeah, there were some weird changes. I agree with you. They purposely say to go to the wedding and they were like, well, we have to take all these precautions because like we should already be on the run, and they're like just flaunting him out and about in the movie, and it's just no big deal. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I actually had one on the wedding too, and then I had something that was earlier, but while we're talking about the wedding, I wish we got the Victor Crumb cameo in the movie, because in Harry Potter movie world, he's only in movie 4 and we never see him again, but he is mentioned in the later books. Just quick little cameos of him, but he is at the wedding in the book, and he is the one he gets like very upset when he sees Luna's dad, I'm gonna butcher his name, Luna's dad's necklace, and he's like, oh, that's the mark of Grindelwald, I can't believe he's wearing that, I'm gonna go yell at him, whatever. And that is a very big hint and clue for why the kids eventually go and talk to Luna's dad. And I wish that they had just put that in.
Because
like we just should have seen. It's the final movie in this mega series. Get the cameos of the characters that we've met over the course of the 7 books, or the 7 movies, I should say. Like, just throw them in there. I know you had the budget. It was like a half day on set. He could have done it.
Yeah, and you know, to your point, there's so much that's missing from that whole storyline of Grindelwald and everything that they just kind of pass over. And as I was reading, I truly was getting more frustrated because you had the 2 movies. There was enough that you could have put in, like you said, a half day thing. And I think it would have been good too because and I hope that's not spoiling if people are listening, then you've at least read the book, but even down to Ron's hesitancy of did he even want to be around during this whole situation, where because he's always nervous about, you know, other people are trying to get with Hermione and it's ruining his opportunities, and he hates Crumb because of that. And I think it would have been nice to also bring that back because we, like you said, it's just mentioned once in book 4. But it gets brought back again in this book, too. He's furious that he's talking to Hermione and all of that stuff. It's just, I don't know. It could have been nice to just add in some stuff to add more layers.
Yeah, and there's more jealousy around Crumb because in the book, he notices Ginny.
Yes.
And Harry's like, oh, she's taken.
Yeah.
Like really strong guys. Even though him and Ginny are not together, they talk about how they're broken up because he's about to go on this quest. But it's just funny that now both the boys are jealous of Crumb wanting the girls.
Really possessive guy. Like you can't, no chance.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. But I actually had one that was earlier that I wish that they had kept. Sorry to jump and steal your, you were going back and forth. But I wish they would have just left in Dudley and Harry's goodbye.
Yes.
Because, you know, it's not super emotional in the book, but it is just that nice closing the loop on their relationship, where in the book, Dudley expresses some concern, like, we're just leaving Harry behind. And it comes across as, like, even though he was so mean to him and bullied him and just acted like he didn't care about him, like, deep down he does actually care about him and he's worried about his safety. And I just think that would have been a nice moment to kind of make it feel like he does have a little bit of family that cares about him. Instead, they're just completely cut.
Yeah, and you know, too, after the Dementor attack with Dudley, I think it changed his perspective because Harry jumped in as quick as he could to protect his cousin, even for how ridiculous his cousin was towards him his whole entire life. He could have said, yeah, take him, who cares? I'm going to run and escape. But like you said, it just shows that there is some family aspect, because in the movie, they don't even have the people who go with them from the wizarding side. They have people from the Order of Phoenix that are traveling with his aunt and uncle and cousin, and you know, that whole aspect's removed. So it's just kind of, it looks like they're just piecing out on him. Nice to know ya. I'm not coming back.
Yeah. So I just wish they would have kept that. And I feel like that would have been a nice way to kind of close out that relationship that you've come to know over the course of the movies.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and I question, I guess, maybe, because I don't even think his cousin was actually in the scene. I think it's just his aunt and uncle. So I'm questioning, could they even get the actor? But, you know, I mean, I like to hope that they could have, just for a few minutes.
Yeah, I wish that was in there.
Yeah, agreed. One thing that I actually had, I think it actually happens before the wedding, so I guess we're going back in a way, was that I'm sad they left out, was Hagrid gives Harry a pouch that only the owner can get into. And Harry stores a bunch of things in this. He has the broken mirror that Sirius gave him. He ends up putting his wand in there. I think the Marauder's map goes in there. And there's a couple other trinkets that he puts in there. They never mention this. So when they get captured and brought to the Malfoy Manor, they never really bring up any of the items. And then miraculously, all this stuff is still in his pocket. But they searched all of them at the beginning when they got in the house. So it's just, there were plot holes, in my opinion, that it was just, oh man, that would have been nice to have in there, just to specifically say why he was able to still have the freaking mirror with him after being searched.
Yeah, that's I think the theme of the last couple of movies. It's like there's just so many plot holes that easily could have been fixed with like one sentence of dialogue that I wish they would have just added in. But maybe they just assume the average audience isn't digging that deep. Like, oh, why does he still have that? They assume they put it in Hermione's bag or something. I don't know, but yeah, they just leave it in. I don't understand. It would have taken 3 seconds.
I know, and his birthday's completely removed. He turned 17. He's of age. They don't go through any of that. It's just right to the wedding. You know, he arrives, and then the next day it kind of seems like the wedding's happening.
Yeah, where they're there for a while, so.
Yeah.
They were rushing. And again, you had 2 movies to cover this. I don't understand.
Agreed.
My other thing that I just was like a little sad they left out is the part when they go to the ministry to get the locket from Umbridge is very different in the book. And I prefer the book version because I liked the part where Ron, Harry, and Hermione they see all the people lined up outside the courts that are coming in for questioning, and as they're running out, they get all the people to leave with them. They're telling them, like, escape the country, take your kids, like, go as far as you can, like, they're gonna, like, this isn't gonna work out well for you, and they help all those people escape. And I wish that we had that, because I feel like that's a great show of, like, them being Gryffindors. And also, like, Harry's character is, like, he is doing what he's doing for other people. He doesn't really care about himself. He's just trying to protect as many people as he can on his journey. And I just wish they would have kept that in. Also, I feel like in the book, he doesn't, like, his polyjuice potion doesn't wear off in the courtroom like it does in the movie. Like, that's just to be way more dramatic. Like, that pisses me off in the movie that Harry's wears off in the courtroom. Hermione's doesn't wear off until, like, they leave the elevator. And then Ron's doesn't wear off until, like, they're literally about to escape. And I'm just like, you all took it at the same exact time.
Yeah. Yeah, they're able to flee a decent amount, and they only realized that it was him because they took the locket from Umbridge. It's not I see Harry legit. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, and in the book, they're on alert because he takes Mad-Eye Moody's eye from her door, and they're like, oh, we know there's an intruder because that was stolen. But there's like no hint of like there's intruders in the Ministry in the movie. Also, if we just remember from book 2, like there's a very definitive time frame that Polyjuice Potion works for. I believe it's 1 hour, and then you have to keep taking it. And so when Harry in the movie's like, Hermione, how long did you say this Polyjuice Potion will last for? And she's like, I didn't. And it's like, okay, but the potion literally only works for 1 hour.
Yeah, and we know this.
So then why are you all changing at different times?
That's
the thing that just drives me nuts a little bit. It's like the consistency of like things that were established early on. You have to keep that going.
Agreed. Yeah, you can't change it, even down to specifically with that the taste of it. People, or even how sometimes they change and the outfits change with them. And then for some reason in this movie, we show it where everyone's still wearing their outfits they were currently wearing, and then they have to change. But I think in another one they were fine and the outfits changed with them. It was like they didn't explicitly say certain things. I'm like, this is so different than what the book says. It's a consistent theme. You always have to change.
Yeah, you have to grab the clothes. Also, it's just like the foundation they laid in movie 2. When they turn into Crabbe and Goyle, they are in Crabbe and Goyle's voice.
Yeah.
They look like them. Then in this movie, they have their regular voices.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this does not make sense. It's the same exact Polyjuice Potion. Also, they didn't say that Hermione takes the Polyjuice Potion from Mad-Eye. That's why it's already brewed.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a lot happening.
Can I also just make a quick note? And I was laughing to myself. In the movie, when they show the fact that they have to basically strip and even in the book, Harry's saying they have no shame for what they're showing of his body. And I'm just like, Fleur and Hermione turn into men.
Yeah.
And there is no conversation about that. It's just like, I was wearing my regular outfit and now I have to strip and I just see all of Harry. Yeah. It just makes me laugh. It's just so weird.
Yeah, like there's inconsistencies in the exact same movie. It's just like, did no one flag that? I don't understand. But whatever. Yeah. That drives me nuts because I just feel like the Ministry scene is much better in the book.
Agreed. Yeah, actually, on that same line of a scene that I think is better in the book was Godric Hollow when they go there. And Voldemort's pretty much, 0.2 seconds from capturing them when they apparate away. We don't see him at all. It's just that Hermione explodes the house and they just apparate away. And we don't see Voldemort. He's never even there. It's just a snake. And I think it would have been even more dramatic to see Voldemort where they were going every single time when he gets called, everything. Because it shows more drastic of how close they were to literally dying every single step of the way.
Yeah, because that's twice in this part that he's close to them.
We only see him at the end? I mean, I know we see him at the beginning when he's at Malfoy Manor, but it's literally just the end.
Yeah, we just see like the little like vision things that he's having.
Right, but they don't even specifically go into the fact that he's still trying to shut his mind off to it. I just think there would have been a lot of better opportunities to have him involved throughout the movie to really get that anxious feeling of we literally just made it out. Yeah.
And then I just have like a general sad they changed is I just feel like I don't like part 1 the movie. It's not my favorite because it feels very drawn out. Rereading the book, I was like, wait, this part actually moves a lot faster. Yeah. There's more happening. Granted, they are moving a lot, but like there's things going on, and I hate that in the movie. It just makes it seem like they're just like trudging under bridges and fields for days and weeks, and I'm just like, there is more happening. There's more encounters that they have, like running into Dean and the goblins. They don't see them obviously, but like hearing them. There's more close encounters that they come across. I also wish the radio thing that's introduced after Ron comes back, like I don't know, I feel like the book does a good job of like making it feel like they really are disconnected from what's happening in the world, but like they're getting little bits and pieces as they go. And I don't know, the movie just feels very slow.
Agreed. There were just a couple aspects that happened that was just, oh, you could have added that, and I think it would have added even more dramatic energy to the movie to make it worth it. Because to your point, I don't watch this often at all. It's, I don't know,
No,
I think I've maybe seen it 5 or 6 times total.
Yeah, I don't reach for this one.
No, it's, I skipped to the second one. It's not worth
where
it.
the action's happening, it's like there's not a ton.
Yeah. And for the fact that it was such a long series, you think that they could have ramped it up again in both the final 2 to make it really impactful.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else under sad. So if you have other ones.
I had one more, and it actually had to do with the radio. They don't have the podcast with Lee Jordan in any of the guests. And I was so sad they left this out, because after Ron gets back from when he leaves, he's taken by the Snatchers. He comes back and finds out that there's a radio podcast specifically for the Order of the Phoenix. I really wish they added that in, because to your point earlier about the fact that the radio is introduced later, it really isolates them. This adds so much more of there are still people out there, because Harry does start to feel this is just on me. I don't know what I've gotten these two into. We don't even know certain aspects, but there's other people out there still in the Resistance who are ready whenever they need them. And I just, it brings back that emotion of, okay, we do have a reason to keep doing this. I don't need to just hide in the woods for the rest of my life to try and defeat Voldemort.
I also feel like in the book, when it's Ron coming back after he's like escaped Snatchers and he went to Bill and Fleur's house, which like none of this happens. And then he's like, but I found this radio show and like it's the Order, blah, blah, blah. I feel like that piece of information kind of grounds his character and like reminds him of like why he went along with them in the first place, and it like gives him the motivation he needs to like go back and find them, where when he's just been listening to it the whole time, it's almost just painted as like doom and gloom, like the radio and constantly hearing all the deaths and the disappearances is what's causing Ron to want to leave, where it's like that's not how it is in the book. First of all, he's wearing the Horcrux and it like really, really affects him more than it affects the other ones. He's having so much jealousy over Harry and Hermione's role. I think he feels like he's not contributing enough and he's just kind of like dead weight. Then he leaves, and the radio is what reconnects him to the mission and wanting to come back and fight with them. And I just don't like that the movie portrays that much differently.
Agreed. Yeah, they do kind of just make him as the spare. Just here's the extra person. And I'm not saying he does these extravagant things, but there are certain things that he mentions towards the end that he has a brilliant idea about, you know, certain aspects when we get to the castle that I think they diminished his character a bit of just, oh, let's just get it through. You know, Hermione's the brains. Harry does have some brains, but he has more than knowledge on certain things.
And Ron's just here.
Ron's just here for the ride.
Yeah.
I
don't love that part.
Neither do I. No, neither do I. But
did you have anything else for sad?
No, that was actually it for sad. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then we can move into things that we're happy they changed. I really only have one.
Okay.
Because
I have two.
Like, I just feel like the changes are so strange. Granted, in the book, they do talk about the kids at Hogwarts. Like, Harry's always looking at them on the map, and they hear bits and pieces of, like, the kids tried to steal the sword from Snape's office. They were punished. So we get, like, some glimpses. But I like that they show Neville kind of talking back to the Death Eaters on the train. And, like, I like that it's specifically him and not Ginny like it had been in the book, kind of leading the charge, because he's such a big part of the second part of the movie. I feel like it's good foundation work for him, but I like that we got to see them, because they could have just scrapped all the kids in general.
Yeah, and they could have left it to, hey, we just need you for a few minutes for the second movie, and that's it. So yeah, I do like their addition. That is really good. I had one, it's actually when we were talking about Ron, when he is gone and it's just Harry and Hermione who are still looking for the Horcruxes. I really like how they had the scene where Harry dances with Hermione just to get her mood up a bit, because if you think about it, Ron's been gone for weeks. because it's not just a few days. It is a long time. It's over the holidays. She's super bummed. And I just think it's good to also bring back that they do have such a good friendship. So I just liked how they added it. It's not in the book at all. So
Yeah. I'm like indifferent on that scene.
yeah.
But like I do think it is like a little, like you said, a little bit of joy in this like bleak mission that they're on. I think the movie does a good job too of like portraying Hermione's feelings towards Ron. Even though she doesn't actually come out and say it, Hermione is very distraught that he has chosen to leave, and it's been a long time since he's been gone.
Yeah, agreed. The other thing that I actually like that they did is pretty much the last scene or two of the movie is Dobby actually speaks more to Harry in the movie than he does in the book. The book, I'm pretty sure he just says Harry Potter and then dies. It's super quick. I like how they added his little end speech because it really just goes to show that he was always going to be there for Harry and would, no matter what, jump in and help out as much as he could. So I just think it brought it back, especially because they kind of left him out of every single thing. That it was just, okay, I mean, if we're going to have to give him a final thing and make it emotional, I think we need to give him some type of, final saying. So I thought that was really good. And I think it just brings more emotion out of the whole thing and really preps you for where the second movie goes.
Dobby's death is the one death that gets me the most in the series.
Oh, same. Mm-hmm.
Like, that one was so unnecessary. Like, why? Why did we have to kill him off? I don't understand. Like, everyone else, it comes out like there was like a bigger role that played. But like his, like, why?
I don't know.
It's so sad. I'm like, why?
I know. And it's crazy though, because even when they're in the dungeon and they do get the help, never once does Harry think maybe Creature could also assist either.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of just like
I would have been fine if Creature died.
Right. Nothing against him, but they didn't make him a redeeming character like they did in the book. There's some redeeming qualities.
He's so sweet when he's like ends up liking them because they're like they give him the fake locket and then he's like making them dinner, and then when they come back from the ministry they're like, I know. Well, I guess like we're not gonna have that dinner with him.
I know.
But yeah, like Dobby brings himself to the dungeon in the book. But yeah, they don't ever think like, oh, we could also call Creature and then we don't need to have Dobby come back and forth.
It's just, that's it. It's just Dobby.
Yeah. But no, I agree. His scene in the movie is really good. It's really touching because he isn't, when's the last movie? I think the last one he's in is 4.
Yeah.
But he's in all the books.
Mm-hmm. All of them.
But yeah, I think 4 is the last time we see him.
I think so. Yeah, which I think is just so unfortunate. So maybe they had to add that to give it more powerful of, oh, remember this elf that was in here a couple movies ago? He's need back. To feel some emotion.
He's about to die. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was good, but
we found one positive.
One positive, yeah.
Okay, moving on to indifferent. The only thing I had was really like Tonks's whole pregnancy and honestly like her whole family.
Yeah.
Technically Harry lands at Tonks's parents' house before he goes to the Burrow in the beginning. So we meet her mom and dad. Then they overhear that the dad is on the run with Dean and the goblins. Then when Ron comes back, we hear on the radio that her dad has passed away. Tonks is having Lupin's baby. It's a whole thing. I'm kind of fine that they wrote it all out especially because they were not doing the cursed child. Like that was not becoming a movie. There was no need to lay the groundwork of their son.
And they don't even really go into it. It's literally in the movie. Tonks tries to announce it when they're taking Harry away. And then they literally don't bring it up again until I'm pretty sure in movie 2 when it's the epilogue scene. I think they might include him.
We see him. I think we see him and you just kind of pick up from it like from the name.
Yeah, but we don't get anything that Harry's the godfather.
Yeah.
there's so much that they remove. Lupin tries to join them on their adventure because he doesn't want to be home. There was so much
that like Lupin's like trying to be an absentee father in the book. He's like, I don't want to be with this pregnant woman. I don't want to like deal with, because he's like mad that his child's gonna be a werewolf now. And he's just, like, fully like abandoning his family. We got that.
Yeah. So I mean, the whole thing could have just been removed altogether.
So like I'm fine, because it's just extra stuff that's in the book. It's nice to have. I don't think it's like imperative to the plot of the movie, especially because they knew they weren't turning Cursed Child into a movie. So that's my indifferent.
Yeah, I only had one as well, and I hope I can say this man's name right, but Scrimgor, he's the Minister of Magic. So how little he actually says to Harry, Hermione, and Ron in the movie versus the book scene. And I'm indifferent because I think it would have been more powerful if they actually added what he said in the book and they put it into the movie. But it's also one of those, because they didn't really go heavily into the items. They didn't go into the backstory or anything like that. It was kind of just, you know what? The little bit he said is probably fine, because we don't really talk about them as deeply as we do in the movie. I mean, in the book. So, you know, if you're not going to keep that plot, might as well just remove it entirely and just make it look boring.
And Hermione like questioning him, like, we know you have, like, you're only here because it's been 30 days and all this stuff. Yeah, they talk about the items a lot in the book.
Yeah, and I think a lot has to do with the Deathly Hallows specifically and all of that, and just even, you know, what else would Dumbledore be hiding from the Ministry and stuff, and, you know.
Yeah. And Ron being so confused that he's in the will at all.
I know, and they wanted to question that. Why? And Hermione's, Dumbledore really liked you. And he's like, I didn't freaking talk to him once, Hermione.
Yeah, like, he did not speak
shut
at all.
up, bro.
Yeah, Hermione's like, zip it.
Yeah. It's like, if there's any time to not be speaking, it's now. Please and thanks.
Yeah, he does not get it. No. That's everything I have. Was there anything in the honorable mentions you want?
The other one that I had that was just really weird that I did not like they changed, the naked Harry and Hermione kissing when Ron goes to destroy the Horcrux. I don't think we needed that. I'm sorry. It got really weird.
Naked?
Why'd they have to be naked? Exactly.
Maybe it was just like, you know, the actors have grown up. We're throwing nudity in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was so weird. And just the fact that because of how friendly they are, I'm just like, ugh, gross.
Yeah. I feel like the book scene gets it across fine without needing that. Like, it's actually pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
In the book of, like, how jealous Ron is.
Yeah.
Of them. And, like, we didn't need that.
No, it could have just been as simple as the speech that they say of who would look at you next to Harry Potter and that, and they could have just had it as them still talking to him and saying things that were negative, because Harry's kind of just there, and I think he says Ron's name twice, but in the book he's yelling at him to don't listen, just do it, it's trying to ruin you, and he's just
screaming like, stab stab it now.
And he's just silent in the movie.
Watching it.
It just gave me the ick watching that again, and I hate that scene. I absolutely hate it because of that. It's so
Change
weird.
That in the TV show.
Yeah, please don't add it. Just keep it as a
monologue.
Yep. Just a monologue. We don't need the extracurriculars at all.
Yeah, that one is weird.
Yeah. So that was just freaking me out.
Oh my goodness. Well, I guess on that note, that's everything we had.
Yeah, exactly.
The movie. I'm very intrigued to see how part 2 differs.
Yeah.
I do like this one. It's more fast paced, but I need to like keep a close eye, because I remember in the book, it's very easy to follow how everything kind of comes to play. But in the movie, I remember like my mom always being like, I'm so confused of like how this all ended, like how they wrapped up. So I need to like see like, is it well explained in the movie or are we missing context?
I know, and I was reading a little bit of it, and there were so many open questions of when I watch the movie, it's probably going to have to be paused many times to go back to my notes to confirm. Because again, with so many plots kind of removed, I'm really curious what they did in the second movie that I just kind of forget about when I just watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm excited to get to that one, and then we will be done with our Harry Potter.
I know, which will be,
coverage.
You know, on to new things after that, which will be super exciting.
Yes, very exciting.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So in our next episode, we aren't going to be discussing the part 2. We will be going over the rest of the month's reads. So we'll go over that first, and then we'll jump into that. But follow along with us in terms of our reading journey for the rest of the second book, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Booktroverts Pod. So see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.